Hello everyone. So I'm coming to you from Kuala Lumpur, right out of my apartment, checking out the scenery, vlogging with my Nikon Z8. Oh, damn, wait a second, this thing's too heavy. Oh, crap. So just so everyone knows, that was not a Nikon Z8, that's a Sony A7R5. I did that for a bit of comedy because as I walk around the street, sometimes trying to vlog with that thing, it's a bit on the heavy side to hold for a long period of time. Now, that being said, the rumors just came out that the Z8 is going to be closer in size to the Nikon D850. What gives? I've been saying all along that I don't think this thing should be a Z6, Z7 size camera. I think it should be somewhere in between. But of course, everything's been rumored, so we don't know for sure, right? We're just kind of going along with what we hear and talking about it. But if we have to be realistic, and this camera is going to have specs, well, first of all, sensor from the Z9, 8K 60 is the latest thing that they're saying. I've been saying I believe this camera is going to be video focused. And we know the Canon R5 had some issues when it came to overheating in that small chassis that they're in. Why would Nikon come out with something, put it inside the Z6, Z7 body? If they don't make it any thicker or don't put a fan on it, it's gonna overheat. I've had my Z6 overheat in a long recording session, and the Z6 too. So I can tell you, I was very suspect about a Z8 is gonna come in that small body. The FX30 I'm recording on right now, very small camera, but it has a fan on it. Now, it's slightly thicker than the Z6, my Z6 II. So I said, yeah, if they did that size of body, I think it could work. But nobody wants a fan. Whenever you ask people about fans, everybody's up in arms. And let's be honest, this photographers mainly because people who shoot video know that when you want to shoot at a higher codec and for a long period of time, you need something to cool the camera, whether it's really good heat sinks or a fan. And in most cases, a lot, if not all, the cinema cameras that you see have a fan on them. It's just a thing when it comes to recording video. Camcorders is where it started. Camcorders has fan to take care of those things. And trust me, camcorders didn't have the same kind of technology we have today, but they had a fan inside them, right? So imagine you've now shrunk things in a mirrorless body and you're giving it higher and higher video recording codecs, but you don't want a fan. That's not gonna work out very well. So in thinking about the Z8, or rather rethinking it and going back to what the old rumors were, and that this thing is going to be somewhere between Z7 and Z9, speculate it's going to be a chopped Z9, I kept saying that wouldn't be a bad idea. I think it would be a good idea for that kind of camera. Semi-professional enthusiast camera, if you will, a backup to professional Z9 users camera. Yeah, I think that really would work in a bigger size body. I think it does a couple things. Photographers who want a slightly beefier camera, because when you're holding on to some of these smaller cameras, you have that problem with your pinky not being able to hold on to anything and you have to buy some kind of thing on the bottom. Hang on a second. Let's use this as an example. So when I hold this camera, okay, my pinky is like right on the edge. Let's make sure it's the right way. It's right on the edge, but when you're shooting, a lot of times the grip isn't the best for you. So for most people, I'm thinking that, yeah, this camera is, great, it's small. A lot of people are utilizing it, are saying that this camera causes their hands to cramp. And if your pinky's hanging out, you don't have the grip. You don't realize how, your fingers work and how you can cause problems for yourself if you're not gripping something properly. If you can a box and you're not gripping it properly, you know very well that, you get pains in your arms and in different places of your body just by doing that. So imagine not being able to utilize a good sized grip. So a larger camera is going to solve that. A larger, deeper grip, a longer grip, will allow you to hold the camera properly. Secondly, heat dissipation. We know the Z9 can record up to 2 hours in 8K 30. Yeah, 8K 30. And now you're adding 8K 60 to the mix. So you're going to need something to be able to dissipate the heat Again, if you're not planning on using a fan, you have to have some way to get the heat off the body of the camera. The other thing that they're saying that I'm a little bit questioning, utilizing the same battery, D850C. Well, no Nikon, they'll probably do a D850D and, bump up the capacity on it, because you're going to need that again for any long form video. But they also did give you the option to use an external power pack. And I'm saying this is still speculation, but the Z6 II had that option. You can plug a power pack in, or you can use a dummy battery and you can record for a long period of time. And realistically speaking, that's pretty much how I overheat my cameras, because I put a dummy battery in there and running on power for a long period of time, and yes, it overheated. So imagine now you're going to have a camera that can record in high video specs, but the battery is not going to be enough. Certainly going to need an external battery. And a lot of these cameras that are doing power delivery and so on, it's generally because you want them to be able to shoot video for a long period of time. It's not for the photo side, it's for the video side. And while most people who are photographers, old school Nikon guys, don't want this camera to be video focused, if Nikon is going to be in contention with everybody else, they need a video camera. They need something high spec. We know the Z6 III is going to be coming out, and that should be the competition for that mid-tier range. They've been pushing the Z30 like crazy, right? It's a pretty good camera, but it's lacking things like IBIS and so on. But from what the video I've been seeing, it seems like it's done pretty well just as it is. So imagine if the Z5 II comes out, gets some really good IBIS, some really good stabilization. I mean, the Z6 III has to be like next level stuff, right? Nobody's really talking Z5 II yet. It's like a dream in our head. We want that. The other thing is Z90, D850 replacement. So many things that could possibly come out this year, we don't really know for sure. But let's get back to the Z8. What do you guys think about the bigger body? Let me know as photographers and videographers if this works for you. I think for most people who shoot videos, having that body that can dissipate heat is something that they're going to want. Guys who shoot photographs, if they had all those buttons on it, like the photos we're seeing of what it's supposed to be, you have your sync port, or your remote port, and your flash sync port on the camera up front. It's kind of go back to the old school days, D200, 300, 500, D1, 2X, all of those cameras. This is something that today, even though photography seems to be like waning, if you need that stuff in a camera, it's great to have it, because you have your old equipment, you're not going to toss them out. So if they give you that functionality, that's a good thing. I'll say this, I know this camera doesn't have, well, actually it does, I'm sorry, sync port. They stuck it on the side. We're used to Nikon stuff being on the front of the camera. So if they put that on the front in the same style that they normally would, that would work. And why not? This is a $3,900 camera. And if the Z8 comes at the same price point, yeah, I think, we're going to be good at that point. So I'm curious to hear what everybody's thinking. I've been putting on a few videos about this and updating them as time goes on. But it seems like we're getting closer and closer, and the rumor mill is like spewing out more information. Let me know. What would you prefer? Z6, Z7 body, or somewhere in between Z9, Z7? Mini Z9 basically, let's call it that. All right guys, I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna head out and shoot later on, so I'll see you in the next one.